How many minutes do we have? E&B staff to the podium. What time do you have? Okay. Oh. And she corrected me when I kept staying in the. Yes, she said, no, you're right, you're right. It's Franklin, Maggie, and Lee. Maybe not Claudia. I just needed 1 minute. I don't know. What do you want to say? Do you want to say just good morning? Okay. Yeah. We'll say 1, 2, 3. Good morning. I know, right? Come on, Franklin. You can get right in the middle.
Yes. The rows between people.
Oh, and Lee's coming. We can say good morning from the staff of E&B.
Perfect.
Yeah. He's telling us wait. So you count us down. Good morning. Good morning from the staff.
Of E&B.
Okay. Good morning from the staff of E&B.
All right, good morning everyone. Buenos días. Muchísimas gracias por estar aquí con nosotros esta mañana. Good morning and thank you so much for being here with us this morning. My name is Nathalie Pozo. My parents say Natalie Pozo. I am very, very happy to be here with all of you this morning. This is my first time emceeing and working with English for New Bostonians, and we do have a great program for you this morning. Now, because of the pandemic, we are once again celebrating virtually this year. The pandemic has been devastating to many individuals and families worldwide. Our immigrant communities have been especially impacted because many of them work in essential industries. For many, the language barrier components, the challenges, schooling children at home, and all the emergency warnings from state and local government. Now, fortunately, organizations like this one provide resources to help all of those immigrants. Becoming fluent in English is one of the pathways to steady employment and self-sufficiency. I am the oldest of 5 children. My parents were born in Cuba and came to the United States in the late 1960s in order to escape a communist country. I have an appreciation for freedom of speech, which is one of the reasons why I became a journalist. In Cuba, like many other countries as well, the media is controlled by the government. It's state-run. So people cannot raise their voices, they cannot express their opinions freely because of fear of persecution. So I very much value freedom of speech because of the struggles that so many Hispanics and other immigrants have gone through to come to this country. Many leaving behind their families, leaving behind everything they know, their belongings, to come to a country that they're not familiar with, where they don't know the language, and again, with the very few belongings that they have on their backs. So again, it's because of organizations like this one that immigrants are able to strive. I am, again, the oldest of 5 children. My siblings and I are first-generation Americans. We're very proud of our Cuban roots and culture and all of the opportunities that our family has been able to receive in this country. Well, we have a great program for you today. You're going to hear from Governor Charlie Baker. You're also going to hear from Boston mayoral candidates Anissa Sabi-George and Michelle Wu, and also some outstanding students. We will introduce you to our Rising Star students who have been recognized for their hard work and commitment to studying English. We applaud these students and their amazing teachers for being able to pivot and adapt to remote learning, and some using technology for the very first time during the pandemic. We will also present 5 individuals with the English Works Business Council Unsung Hero Award. These individuals have gone above and beyond to help and serve people since the beginning of the pandemic. So grab your coffee as we celebrate the work of English for New Bostonians. And here to tell us more about it is the Executive Director of English for New Bostonians, Claudia Green.
Thank you, and good morning. It's really a joy and a comfort to have Natalie Pozo with us today as we test this hybrid format, kind of crazy. It's extremely reassuring to be with an anchor woman who is unfazed. Natalie's personal connection to Immigrant Family Journey has just made this such an easy fit. Thank you to our sponsors, and first and foremost to C&W Services, and also our voices and leadership and supporting sponsors. Northeastern's Vice President for City and Community Affairs, John Tobin, thank you. We are so glad to be back in this beautiful space after a hiatus, and thanks to the team here at East Village. The program ahead of you today is historic. In the city of Boston, we have 2 mayoral candidates who are both women, who are daughters of immigrants, and who grew up in families where English wasn't always spoken. We want to use this time today to find out what that can mean for immigrant communities, and particularly for those who need English training. The ESOL students in the house here with us will do some investigation with the candidates, and we'll find out. We're also pleased to have officials here from Mayor Kim Janey's administration and Governor Baker's administration, as well as our English Works Business Council, our board of directors, and the ESOL programs that are part of the ENB family, our partners, and most of all, ESOL students. Today, ENB is releasing a 9-point position paper entitled ESOL Will Help Fuel Boston's Equitable, Economic, and Educational Recovery. It's a long name. You'll find it on our website. Please check it out. Boston's full recovery and reinvention as an equitable, inclusive city is really tied to that of its immigrant communities. Ensuring the availability of English classes is a step toward recognizing immigrants as an asset to our city. The position paper is based on our 20 years of experience, our current work, and our hope for the future. I'm not going to tell you all 9 points, but I will tell you some highlights. First, we need a welcome to all ESOL policy. All limited English speakers, newcomers, and others who have not had an opportunity to enroll in English classes need information, immediate access, and guaranteed ESOL hours. Second, listen to employers. Leverage this historic labor market shortage. We need to press for job quality and English and workforce training. English classes for employees at all levels should form part of employers' equity, diversity, and economic justice agenda. At ENB, we are listening through our English Works Business Council that you'll hear more about today. We're gathering input on job trends and workplace needs, unifying a business voice on immigrant workforce issues. Fourth, ensure diverse ESOL models for diverse immigrants. English classes can help parents have a voice in their children's education. They must provide a pathway to economic sustainability for students of all immigration statuses. We need to double down on remote learning and digital literacy skills. Remote learning has eased the barriers for access to classes for many who had childcare, transportation, and scheduling conflicts. A lot of students said they preferred the convenience. And every student should gain the experience of learning online, blending English and digital literacy with skills training for in-demand occupations and business ownership. And finally, you know it, we need funding. So we really want to see the addition of American Rescue Plan funds and regular city funds to expand and deepen ESOL training. And with that, stabilizing and strengthening ESOL program capacity. EMB works every day to support ESOL programs and teachers, and they have been stretched beyond thin, but also incredibly creative in testing hybrid models and responding to shifting labor market conditions. They need resources, equipment, devices, hotspots, and internet. So we hope our elected officials will be paying attention to this agenda. We encourage you to please take a look. It's on our website. Join us in the practice and join us in the policy. Thank you so much. Enjoy the program.
All right, Claudia, thank you so much. Well, next I would like to introduce two videos featuring outstanding women. The first video will feature Alice May and her husband Terry, who are the owners of APM Coffee in Chinatown. APM Coffee has been operating since 2017. The couple also owned a coffee shop in China. Alice took the English for Immigrant Entrepreneurs class at the YMCA International Learning Center. The second video will feature Xiomara Gomez, who came to Boston from El Salvador. She owns a small family business called Boston Just Helpers. It's a moving company that she owns with her family. Now, they have been in business for 11 years, and Xiomara took the English for Immigrant Entrepreneurs class at the Gardner Pilot Academy. Following the videos, you will hear remarks from the Board of Chair for English for New Bostonians, Michelle Bamani. Michelle is an assistant vice president and assistant general counsel in the legal department at the Federal Reserve Bank of Boston. He is responsible for rendering legal advice on a broad range of complex banking, regulatory, and corporate law matters, including the FedNow service. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at the videos. Take it away.
I am Alice. I come from China. I come to US in the 2017. The main reason I immigrate to Boston is I hope my children can get a good education. And I know Boston is one of the best education cities in the world. English is the biggest problem in communication. If I can't talk well with customers, I will not be able to bring the best service to them. The English class improved my English skill, let me learn my business, and communicate smoothly with my customers. We keep our door open during the pandemic. We try to think of more ways to maintain our business, such as opening online ordering, letting people get our coffee and food at home. I really enjoy the Learn English online. It helps a lot because the online course is more efficient. It saves me a lot of time. As an immigrant, you know nothing about living here. If you join the class, besides learning English, you can also meet more new friends, sharing experience. And local teachers will give you some good tips for living, which can help you get into here faster. Thank you, EMB, for honoring me.
Hello, my name is Xiomara Gomez. I am from El Salvador. I came here to United States because I want to achieve a better life for me and my family. One of the challenges was in the past, when I pick up the phone, some customer didn't understand my accent. The English classes helped me in my business a lot because now it's more easier pick up the phones, and customers now understand me better than in the past. And also the business is growing more than we expected. I enjoy to learn English class online because it was very convenient for me, mostly because I have a little child right now, and I think it was comfortable with me because my house is my office, by the way, from the company as well. My advice for the leadership of Boston is to keep supporting the Latins and other immigrants corporations to expand these kind of classes, English classes and entrepreneur classes, because it's very helpful for all immigrants people to come to this country. A lot of immigrants communities, they can't afford to pay private classes. When you learn the language, you have more opportunities in this country, and also appreciate all the teachers that help you in the journey to learn. I want to thank you for being nominated for the award.
Ladies for everything. Michelle, we'll invite you over to the podium.
Good morning, everyone. Every time I come to these events, although last year was online, I'm always reminded and amazed of how the power that English can have to help someone catapult them to success. So stories like today's continue to remind us of the importance of learning English and how that could change someone's life. So as I said, good morning. It's very nice to see people live, and although it's a small room, I would like to make sure we also acknowledge everyone who's tuning in. It's another wonderful event and another raising our voices for ENB. So why do we come here today? We come here today because we want to recognize ENB, and an organization that's worked for many years to improve the lives of immigrants living in the greater Boston area and across Massachusetts by allowing them to improve their English to reach their lifelong success. I'm especially excited today because some of our speakers include candidates for mayors, and I'm an East Boston resident, so I will encourage all my Boston residents in the room or online to please vote next week, but I'm also looking forward to hearing from candidate Wu and Asabi George. And I also would like to recognize Boston City Councilor Ed Flynn, who's actually here with us today. So ENB is very personal to me. The reason why I got involved with ENB 2 or 3 years ago is because I'm myself an immigrant. I came to the United States as a refugee about 21 years ago, and I can personally attest to the power that English can have to help someone reach their lifelong dreams. So English for New Bostonians is a very personal mission for me, and I'm very, very, very privileged to be involved with this organization. As we come here this year and every year, what I would like to is to tell you that now more than ever, the need for well-funded English classes is crucial. Just think about this. For a donation of $60, you can ensure that our adult students have the appropriate workbooks and school supply to continue studying at home. For $120, it'll allow for remote learning for a household with no internet. And as you heard earlier, that was a very big part of our push as COVID was getting started. And due to the pandemic, of course, many of our instructors spent hours preparing for their lessons that they had to teach over Zoom or other online platforms, which required more preparation, more patience, and more skills to deal with the technical challenges that come with remote learning. For $300, you could help us supply laptops, Chromebooks, tablets, and/or smartphones for students to continue their English classes remotely during this pandemic. And a donation of $1,500 will help us fund the cost of a student to study English for an entire year. Just think about the story you heard from someone like Alice earlier, what a year worth of English classes could do for her. So I humbly, humbly, humbly ask you to text to the number shown on your screen. I'm hoping you're all seeing a number on your screen online. Or go to our website, www.englishfornewbostonian.org. Thank you very much, and with that, back to you, Natalie.
No? Okay, we're going to just change things up a little bit because it seems that we're still waiting on Anissa Salvi-George. She was next to speak here on the program. Ernesto, is Michelle Wu ready via Zoom? Should we go to her now? No, not yet either? Okay, all right. Let's, great. Well, we can move on to Selena if that's okay. Does that work? We're good with the videos back there? Okay, perfect. Good, guys? Okay. All right, well, we're going to go on now to some more inspiring stories. The next two videos that we're about to see highlights the exciting new Boston Immigrant Cooperative Alliance that ENB formed over the last year with the Center for Cooperative Development and Solidarity. East Boston Harborside Community School and the Mayor's Office for Immigrant Advancement. You're going to now meet Catalina Rojas Toro, who is the coordinator of projects and logistics and was a student in the inaugural English for Cooperative Owners class last spring. The other features Rochelle Jules, who has let nothing get in the way of her goals. She gets up at 4 o'clock every single morning to get her son to school on time, then she goes to English class, goes to work, and does not return home until 8 o'clock at night. In Haiti, Rochelle was a medical technologist. She is graduating from the ABCD ESOL for Parents and Caregivers program in June of 2021. She has gone on to earn a certificate from Bunker Hill Community College and is beginning her clinical internship soon, and then she'll be taking her state exam. So after the videos, we're going to hear from Selena Barrios Milner. She is the Chief of Equity and Inclusion for the City of Boston. She is charged with leading the city's efforts to embed equality and racial justice into all city planning, operations, and the work of all departments. She oversees 9 departments and brings 2 decades of experience to the table. She has led immigrant integration efforts for the City of Boston, where she provided strategic direction to departments to ensure that immigrant residents and their needs at the forefront policy and program design were met. All right, let's go ahead and see those videos.
My name is Catalina Rojas. I am from Colombia. I moved in Boston, Massachusetts because my family came here in 2006. CCDS as a Center Cooperative Development and Solidarity. This is a non-profit organization that promotes and development cooperative, worker cooperative, the first training about the cooperativism. I attend this training. I did not no idea about the cooperativism, but CCDS and first training, learning about the ecosystem cooperative. I love the cooperative. This project is about childcare, childcare and community, immigrant community. Now is around 60 member owner in cooperative, this cooperative. Every team member now is that we have the process, educational process. We have the license, assistant license, lead teacher. And the English classes in BICA, I take the cooperative classes in English. We have these classes is good. For me, it's very good because I learning more pronunciation, more comfort in English for other people in community. Is more vocabulary, more pronunciation, more security, and more comfort about the communication in other people. The advice to give immigrant is never stop, continue in the process transformation because it's very important, this process, and they believe you and believe the community. I want to say thank you for English New Bostonia for recognizing me, my skill in English. Thank you so much.
My name is Marie-Rachel Jules Noel. I'm from Haiti. I have 3 kids, 1 girl and 2 boys. I came to the United States May 2018. When I came to the United States, it was a new country, a new language. You need to talk to the others, talk to the family. The English classes at ABCD program helped me a lot because when I go to the Banker Hill, I can understand a little bit, but the beginning was difficult. After that, I finished by understand English. I can talk to the teacher, talk to the students. It was good. I feel very comfortable to talk to the patient. When I draw the blood, I can talk to the patient, tell them their name, how they feel. When I draw their blood, I know the beginning it's very hard, but if you pay attention, be patient, you can do better.
Okay, I think we're going to introduce our Boston mayoral candidates now, and we'll hear from Selena after the remarks from our candidates. So first up, we're going to start with Michelle Wu. She was first elected to the Boston City Council in 2013, and in 2006 was elected president of the City Council. She's going to join us via Zoom this morning. She is the first Asian American woman to serve on the council, and she is the daughter of Taiwanese immigrants. Michelle is a former restaurant owner and legal services attorney. She lives in Roslindale and is the proud mother of 2 sons. Now, following Michelle's remarks, we're going to take questions from our ESOL students. Please welcome Michelle Wu.
Good morning, everyone. Can everyone hear me okay?
We got you.
Okay. Thank you so much for all the work that you're doing, and I'm really excited to join you. I'm so sorry I can't be there in person today. I am someone whose life has been opened up by the possibilities that organizations such as this one have created for so many immigrant families. English is not my first language either, and my parents immigrated to this country without being fluent in the language. And so I've known from a young age what it means to navigate all the barriers that can come with that experience. And as a city councilor now for 8 years and having worked for Mayor Menino before that, I know how much English for New Bostonians has transformed lives with the innovative partnerships around workplaces and communities, and really targeting the ability for New Bostonians to not only build a life here, but to access every opportunity. I'm so proud that I've been able to follow and be part of English for New Bostonians over many years now. The testimonials that you hear are just a little taste, and the countless stories that I have had the chance to hear from our constituents really show what's possible in the city when we wrap around our community members and make sure that we are taking down barriers for everyone. So I want to thank everyone for supporting this incredible organization. We have much, much work to do. This is a moment for Boston to truly be a city for everyone, reflecting the multilingual, multi-generational, multiracial community that we are, and ensuring that all of the opportunities we're bringing are truly open to everyone. So thank you so much for having me. And I just make one last reminder, we are 4 days away from Election Day, so make sure you get out there and vote. It's really important for everyone's voices to be heard through programs like this, but at the polls as well. So thank you, everyone.
All right, Michelle, thank you. We're going to open it up to our students now for questions.
Good morning, everyone. I am Alice. I come from China. I am an immigrant entrepreneur. I am running a coffee shop in Chinatown of Boston. I am a student at YMCA English for Immigrant Entrepreneurs program. Question: How would you ensure that every adult immigrant in the city of Boston that need an English class can get one?
Thank you so much for your question, and thank you for being part of our incredible community. We need to make sure that the conversation, I'll say, goes both ways. One of the laws and ordinances I was proudest to pass on the City Council was our language access ordinance. So we could ensure that every city service could be available in any language that our residents speak. But we also want to make sure that we are supporting community organizations like English for New Bostonians who are taking down barriers in other ways as well and providing the classes and the training and the training that is specific to each workplace to make sure that everyone is comfortable and can continue to grow professionally in this city. So I look forward to partnering with this organization for many years to come.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Another question? Okay. I also have the second question. How can you assist immigrant entrepreneurs start a new business?
This is a very important moment to focus on small businesses, and especially small businesses that are local, that are creating jobs, and that reflect the diversity of Boston. During the pandemic, our small business owners have been under such stress, and many businesses even closed. I remember walking through Little Saigon and hearing from business owners in the Vietnamese American community, walking through Chinatown, walking through Dorchester and the Four Corners area and Nubian Square. We need to make sure that the vacancies that are there now, the empty storefronts, are quickly filled, and that we can provide the grants, the technical assistance, and the support so that local businesses, local entrepreneurs, immigrant communities can ensure that we are getting our doors back open for business. It's also really important to know that there are resources there, but sometimes we have to do a better job at the city government of connecting them to businesses. When we went door to door, we found out that so many businesses didn't even realize there were grant programs available you could apply for. There were other loans and other opportunities. And so I'll make sure that through our Main Streets program and through our community partners, as well as just going face-to-face, door by door, we can provide that direct connection to information and keep fighting for more resources.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, 谢谢.
谢谢你.
Great job. Thank you so much, Alice. And thank you, Michelle, for joining us this morning.
Thank you, everyone. Great to see you.
Okay, so from one strong woman to another now in this historic mayoral race. Anissa Sabi George was elected as an at-large Boston City Councilor in 2015. She is the daughter of immigrants. Her father immigrated to the U.S. from North Africa, and her mother was born in a displaced persons camp in Germany to Polish parents. She is the mother to 4 children, including triplets. She is a small business owner and also a former Boston Public Schools teacher. She has lived in Boston her entire life. Like Michelle, following Anissa's remarks, we're going to hear questions from our ESOL students. Please welcome Anissa Sabi George.
Thank you very much, and good morning, everyone. My name is Anissa Sabi George, and I'm grateful to have had the opportunity these last 6 years to serve as an at-large city councilor, and the 13 years before that as a classroom teacher at East Boston High School. Grateful that my parents, both immigrants to this country, made Boston their home through some very different immigration stories, but I feel it's so important that we are uplifting those experiences, that we are working with our city's residents to make sure that they have opportunities to be exposed to those new opportunities. And I think a lot about when I'm in these rooms and with all of you, I think a lot about my personal experience and the experiences of my parents and my grandparents who came with my mother. And in particular, as a young child, attending English as a second language classes with my grandmother, and we went together to participate in those classes. She was also taking some citizenship classes during those years as well. This work that happens with and for all of you is so critically important when we think about the future of our city, when we think about the work we have to do in community with each other. And so I'm grateful this morning to be with you for a few moments, to answer some questions, and to engage in, I think, great conversation, but really identify the things we need to do as a city to better engage our immigrant community, to make sure that, as that last question references, that you have the tools and resources and access to the capital, access to the funds to engage in building businesses. Because I know when you build a business, I'm a small business owner myself, you build community and you create opportunities to invest in that community and to invest in people, which is the most important thing that as mayor of this city, I will focus on, investing in our people. I'm grateful to be with you all this morning and look forward to some questions.
Test.
There we go.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Marie-Rachel Jules Noel. I'm from Haiti. I came to the United States May 2018. I'm graduate from ABCD program in Rosendale. Now I'm studying at Bunker Hill Community College to become a phlebotomist technician. Counselor, I have 3 questions for you. My first question is, how will you ensure that every adult immigrant in the city of Boston that need an English class can get one?
So very quickly, there are things that we do at City Hall, especially when we think about our Office of Immigrant Advancement, that we need to make sure that we're embracing as a city and reaching out to our new immigrant communities here in the city of Boston, both our families, our young children, and our older Bostonians. We need to also invest in the programs that already exist. I'm a believer in not recreating the wheel, making sure that we are uplifting and supporting efforts that are underway, efforts that have already found some tremendous success across all language communities. My belief as mayor is that we invest our city's dollars in those efforts.
Thank you. My second question, how will you help parent immigrants in Boston support their children's education?
As a former classroom teacher, and I thank you for that question, I spent 13 years teaching at East Boston High School, and East Boston has a very large immigrant population. And our families are critical to the success of our children and need to be engaged in what's happening in our schools. And we, as a city and as a school district, need to make it easier for our families to be brought into that classroom, into that conversation, into the work of educating each and every one of our students. And that's where language access is so important within our school districts, certainly in engaging our children and our young people, especially our English language learners, but making sure that we have the people present, engaged and involved, that speak the languages that our families speak. It's one thing to be able to communicate with children and young people. It's another and a great opportunity for us to help our students achieve when we can communicate with their families as well. And that's around academic opportunities and academic success. It's also around social and emotional wellness. When we think about the wellness of our children and our families and our school communities as a whole, we really do have to approach it from a whole student perspective, a whole child perspective, and language access, and language resources are an important part of that.
Thank you.
Well, thank you very much. I'm grateful to have spent a few minutes with you here today. I'm excited about the next couple of days and hope that you'll show up to the polls to vote. Let your family and friends know how important that engagement is. We saw very low turnout in September and hope to sort of change that tide for next week. Thank you, everybody.
All right, thank you so much, Anissa. And as you heard the candidates say, voting, of course, is so important. It's the way that we can raise our voices for the services that we need in our communities, and Boston's mayoral race is on Tuesday, November 2nd. Okay, now we want to bring up Selena Barrios Milner. She is the Chief of Equity and Inclusion for the City of Boston. Welcome. Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you so much for the introduction. And I just want to recognize Claudia Green and English for New Bostonians for the amazing work you do for our city and for our immigrant residents. It's really a privilege to get to partner with you all. So I'm Celina Barrios Milner, Chief of Equity and Inclusion, City of Boston. I was born in Caracas, Venezuela, and lived within a couple of miles of my entire family, grandparents, cousins. Every day at school, I didn't know which aunt would pick me up or which cousin I'd have lunch with when I got home. And at the age of 6, moved to the United States and moved to Cincinnati, Ohio, where every form said black, white, other. There were no systems in place for Latino immigrants, or there were no Spanish speakers in our school or in our neighborhood. But there was Miss Gingold, who was our English as a second language teacher. And she had, in one classroom, people from me, like first grade, my sister in 5th grade, refugees, people that had just arrived, people that had been there a little bit longer. And Miss Gingold taught us so much about not just English, but I remember the first time I had toasted pumpkin seeds was in her classroom, and I don't know if that would be allowed today, but she was able to have a hot plate and introduced us to the traditions of this beautiful country. And so this is something very near and dear to my heart. In my role at the City of Boston and through Mayor Kim Janey's administration, we're committed to supporting immigrant residents, and this year alone have committed over $285,000 to support English for New Bostonians, English ESOL programs throughout the city. And we're committed to, in partnership with the City Council, Mayor's Office, and all of you, to spend those stimulus resources and continue to support our immigrant residents with upcoming funding. I also want to recognize we have Councilor Flynn here from the Boston City Council, who's an amazing champion of this work. And if you look at his Twitter, every tweet he sends out is in 5 different languages. Is it the top 5, Councilor? Yes. Amazing commitment to inclusion and equity. I want to recognize that. So lastly, I just want to congratulate all of the Rising Star students. You are Boston. We are so lucky to have you in this city, and thank you for all your contributions. So thank you all for being here today and for your hard work to make Boston the best city it could be.
Celina, thank you so much. All right, we just want to take a moment to remind you of the donations today and what your donation could mean to the organization. So for $60, you could ensure that all the adult students have the appropriate workbooks and Chromebooks and school supplies so they can continue to study at home. $120 would allow for remote learning for households with no internet. $300 could help supply laptops, Chromebooks, tablets, smartphones for students to continue their English classes remotely during the pandemic. And a donation of $1,500 or more would help fund the costs of a student to study English for an entire year. So if you are joining us from home, you're going to see that number right there on the screen that you can text. You can also, of course, go to the website englishfornewbostonians.org. Okay, now we do want to call our students to the podium. This is the Rising Stars Students Award. Some of them are here with us, others are joining us virtually. We want to introduce you to the students that are enrolled in the ENB supported programs from across the city of Boston. Now, these students and graduates were nominated by their respective programs as Rising Stars. They have displayed an exceptional commitment to their own studies, adapted to remote learning, and lent a hand to their fellow classmates along the journey. They have also brought their new English skills to work, to school, and to their supporting families. I encourage everyone to read about these amazing students in the program book. Their stories are truly inspiring. Okay, so we're going to start with Alice May, YMCA International Learning Center. And as I call your name, you can come up here on the stage. We do want to get everyone up here so we could take a photo. Come on up, Alice. Catalina Rojas Toro, East Boston Harborside Community School. And as you receive your award, if you could stay up here on the stage, because again, we do want to take a group photo at the end. Rochelle Jules, ABCD ESOL for parents and caregivers. All right, congratulations, ladies. And if you could come back up here to the stage, if you could just come back up. We do want to take a photo of all of you guys together with Claudia and the rest of the group. Wonderful, thank you. All right, yeah, let's give them a round of applause. Now, we do have some more students we want to recognize. They are joining us virtually this morning. We're going to start with Paul Alexander, Gilbert Albert Community Center. We're not going to, oh, no, okay, we may not see them, but we're going to say their names anyway. Mary and Isneder Arnes of the East Boston Harborside Community School. We have Darlene Bazile, Haitian Multi-Service Center. Marie Edna Joseph Exantus, Jewish Vocational Services. Alba Luz Escobar, East Boston Community Council. Xiomara Gonzalez, Gardner Pilot Academy Adult Education Program. Nidia Hernandez, Jamaica Plain Community Center's Adult Learning Program. Jai Tan, Boston Chinatown Neighborhood Center. Lourdes Vega, Neighborhood of Affordable Housing. And Ana Maria Vizcaino, Blackstone Community Center. Let's go ahead and give them all a round of applause once again. They really deserve it for all of their hard work. What was that? They can hear us online? Oh, wonderful. Let's give them even a more round of applause so they can all hear us. Hope you guys can hear that at home. We're very proud of everything you have done. You are going to receive a certificate of recognition, and we hope that it inspires you to continue your classes and pursue your dreams. Okay. We are now going to introduce Governor Baker and Mr. Juan R. Vega, the Assistant Secretary for Communities and Programs, Mass Executive Office of Housing and Economic Development. Juan has been responsible for the oversight and management of several grant programs, as well as the coordination of technical assistance to several municipalities across the Commonwealth. He also provides policy support to the Housing and Economic Development Secretary on community economic development matters. He is a lifelong resident of Chelsea. Juan has been active in the community and civic engagement for 30 years. He served as an elected member of the Chelsea City Council and also served as council president in 1999. Now, prior to joining the state, Juan was president and CEO of Centro Latino, a multi-service nonprofit in Chelsea and Cambridge that provides ESOL services to the community. But first, a message from our governor.
And civic aspirations. Investing in ESOL training today leads to a more productive and successful workforce in the future and will ultimately expand the growth of local and regional economies. That's why our administration filed in July an act relative to immediate COVID recovery needs. That was a mouthful. This bill outlines our proposal to invest a portion of the $5.3 billion in funds that Massachusetts received from the federal government through the American Rescue Plan into urgent priorities like workforce training and ESOL education. This proposal includes $35 million to fund English for Speakers of Other Language programs and adult basic education, and $25 million for work readiness and essential skills programs, in addition to $240 million to turbocharge our existing job training programs throughout the Commonwealth. Our administration is committed to continued support for these critical initiatives so that we can ensure an equitable recovery from COVID-19, and English for New Bostonians will be a key partner in that effort. Despite its name, you all know that English for New Bostonians and its essential programming reach far beyond the city limits and makes an impact that goes way past just Boston. The English for New Bostonians team works to ensure that immigrants and English learners have the support that they need when entering the Massachusetts workforce. In order to achieve equitable economic growth, our workforce needs their tremendous talents and cultural contributions. And we're grateful for English for New Bostonians' partnership in our collective efforts to strengthen the Commonwealth's workforce and our local communities, and we've been proud to support their essential programming. Through resources and education, English for New Bostonians supports immigrants' growth and development, and they make it possible for immigrants to realize their goals and contribute fully to the Commonwealth. I want to thank you for the work you've done and will continue to do on behalf of our immigrant community and our English learners here in Massachusetts. And congratulations to the Rising Star Student Awardees and the English Works Unsung Heroes, who are also being honored today. The work of English for New Bostonians is essential to individual, family, and economic recovery, as well as our shared future here together. I want to thank you. I hope you have a great event, and I hope you raise your voices significantly. Thank you.
So much, Governor Baker. And now, Mr. Juan Vega, bienvenido.
Get used to the mask. Good morning, buenos dias, thank you, gracias a todos. It's certainly, I'm honored for this opportunity and the invitation to participate in the program this morning, which not only highlights the importance of English language learning programs in directly fueling the economic competitiveness of our state, but also in recognizing the individuals that are on the front lines every day, ensuring that these collective goals and lofty goals that we've set out for ourselves can be carried out successfully. As was mentioned, I've had the privilege of a few decades of working, leading a community-based organization in my hometown in Chelsea that did work regionally, and it was primarily focused on workforce development and in particular ESOL as a key tool to immigrant workers to allow them to be able to advance in their work. Their role, I want to highlight, during this pandemic in particular, can only be described as heroic. In communities, in a lot of gateway cities and a lot of places where immigrant families live, we saw, and hopefully people understood throughout the pandemic, that for a lot of these families, staying at home and logging in to Zoom and putting in a day's work that way was never an option. And the ability of this Commonwealth, and certainly our cities, and Boston in particular, its ability to be able to progress successfully throughout the pandemic and be able to be on its way to recovery was due in no small part to the efforts and not to put too fine a point, the blood, sweat, and tears of immigrants that got on the 111 bus or got on the red line and made their way, particularly in the service industry, to ensure that the economy of this Commonwealth continued to churn on. As outlined by the governor, opportunities for immigrants to increase their English skills and contributions to the labor market are a top priority of our administration. And we thank the community-based ESOL programs and the businesses that are here with us today for working together to make this a reality. In my current role now, overseeing some of the grant programs of the state, such as the Urban Agenda Grant Program, I've been really excited to be able to support now this work that's happening out in the communities. and projects like that proposed by the English for New Bostonians, which supported the English for entrepreneurs, English for co-op owners. English for New Bostonian not only knows how to do ESOL, but they certainly know how to work with communities and businesses to make ESOL an integral part of workforce and economic development strategies. English for New Bostonians has a unique resources and a record of accomplishment of helping businesses and business leaders create opportunities for their workers. And I want to commend and recognize the English Works Business Council in particular as it becomes a critical voice and a force in advancing this important work. The Council is a business partnership program that convenes leaders, facilitates collaboration, and shares best practices to meet the needs of the fast-growing immigrant workforce in Greater Boston. And many of those same businesses are also partners with us in state government. And I just wanted to name the founding members real briefly that include Beth Israel Leahy Health, Boloco, C&W Services, Eastern Bank, Rebel Restaurants, Stop and Compare Supermarkets, AKA Compare, and Tufts Health Plan. And in this year has certainly been very difficult, and I'm honored to be here to participate with all of you in the recognition of the English Works unsung heroes from these companies. And thank you to the companies for your commitment and for having these heroes within. And I'm happy to join in raising our voices. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Juan. We do want to introduce now the Unsung Hero Awards from the podium. So as I call your name, just come up here, and as before, just stay up here so we can take some group photos. The English Work Unsung Hero Award was created to recognize and celebrate behind-the-scenes staff members who go above and beyond the call of duty to improve critical communication between staff, management, clients, and/or customers. Through the COVID-19 pandemic, communication has been essential to individuals, family, and businesses in order to survive. This award is specifically for employees who are not in leadership or manager roles, but are constantly motivating others, lifting morale, and frequently go out of their way to make sure that the job is done or a colleague or customer is supported. Qualifying criteria includes the following attributes: leadership, professional development, values, action-oriented, and advocacy. If you take a moment to look through your program book, you'll see that the people who are about to receive these awards are frontline workers, supervisors, managers, and executives. Some of them came to the U.S. with nothing. Some were born here. They are immigrants, children of immigrants, and in their own way are opening the door for others to learn English, to grow, and to fully contribute to their communities and workspaces. We begin with Paula Brito, Environmental Services Supervisor at Beth Israel Deaconess Medical Center. Paula joined Beth Israel in 2016 as an environmental services supervisor. She has supported her team to improve their workplace communication, and she has referred more than 15 employees to the medical center's ESOL program. She is from Cape Verde, and she believes language provides the opportunity for employees to grow. Congratulations. Next, Ive Gonzalez, Vice President, DE&I Program Manager at Eastern Bank. She's not here today. Okay. Well, congratulations to you. Douglas Interiano, he's the Account Manager at C&W Services. Douglas moved with his family to the U.S. in 2001 from El Salvador when he was just 15 years old, speaking no English. He immediately went to work at a bakery and later in restaurants to help his family make ends meet. He earned his GED and after years of hard work was able to provide a home for his mother and recently for his own growing family. Felicidades, Douglas. Next is Glenda Martinez, line cook at Boloco. Glenda's from Honduras. She has worked in restaurants for many years. She started at Boloco in 2012 and soon enrolled in ESOL classes. All right, and last but not least, Evelyn Morales, prep cook at Rebel Restaurants. Not here today either. Well, congratulations to you, Evelyn. All right, let's give another round of applause to all of the recipients of the Unsung Hero Award. I think we're going to take a few photos now. Oh, sure, thank you. Okay, so we are starting to wrap up our program in just a few minutes, so I just want to remind everyone again of how you can donate. Of course, any donation, even a small amount, is greatly appreciated. If you're joining us from home, you could see that number there on your screen. If you are here with us, we invite you to make a contribution at this time by texting ROV 2021 to 352-436-6283. So again, that's ROV 2021, and you can text that to 352-436-6283. And of course, we invite you to join us on Twitter as well, using the hashtag RaisingOurVoices2021. Okay, we want to invite Claudia back up onto the podium here for our final remarks, and then we'll introduce our musical act after that.
Thank you so much, Natalie. Thank you all for everyone who's watching from home or from your office. We really appreciate you being here. We can't see you, but we know you're there, and we really appreciate your being here. And congratulations again to all the awardees, and thank you for being with us, and thank you for all of the work, the hard work that you've done with the companies that you work in, and in the English classes, and in your communities and schools and workplaces. Thank you and congratulations. I want to just remind everyone, take a look at our website after this event, check out the new position paper, take a look at our English Works Business Council if you lead a business, and see if there's value there for your business. We hope you'll join us. If you're interested in volunteering, consider joining our Allies for Immigrants ESOL Corps. You can volunteer your time and work with adults who are working hard to learn English. You'll find a link on our website, and we'll connect with you very soon. A final shout out to all of our sponsors, the staff, the teachers, and the students that are in ESL programs across the city. Thank you for continuing to innovate and for persevering. The EMB staff is rock solid. Lee Haller, Franklin Peralta, Luis Franco, Oscar Escobar, Sora Alhamari, Maggie Sestak. We thank you all for your knowledge and your ingenuity in supporting ESOL teachers and programs and aligning with businesses, schools, and other. It never pauses. If you don't know them, I encourage you to get to know them. And I want to give them a hand. Thank you. Very sincere thank you to Evelyn Norman and Giovanni Velasco on the EMB staff. They're the communications and development team, and to Ernie Galan of Scout Productions, who's been running this show, and it's amazing it worked. Big hand for that. And I'd like to thank our board of directors for your steadfast leadership and support. And finally, I want to thank all of you who are listening in and who are here with us today, old friends and new, who've shown up and supported this event today. We look forward to having you with us as we go into our 20th anniversary next year, so stay tuned. Thank you and have a great day.
All right, Claudia, thank you. And really quick, what you're listening to right now. Trotman. He is a professor at Berklee College of Music, and you just heard his celebrated jazz rendition of Bill Withers' Lovely Day, along with songwriter, producer, recording artist, and contemporary saxophonist, Danish-American Michael Lington. All right, everyone, thank you so much for being here with us this morning. Congratulations to all of the students and, again, all of the unsung heroes. Remember, you can still make donations by texting that number or by going to the website. Again, thank you for having us. I'm Nathalie with Channel 5, by the way. I think I forgot to say that earlier today when I was saying hello. So Nathalie Pozo with WCVB News Center 5. So thank you so much for having me. It was my first time doing this with you guys. It's a wonderful organization. So thanks for the support and have a wonderful day. Que tengan buen día. Muchísimas gracias.